too. Okay, so it's
Amazing.
1:10 and we're just
Okay.
gonna go into it, and as people join, we'll just let them in. So welcome everybody to day 6 of the ELOY Sustainable Empowerment webinar series. We started the webinar series in July, and today is our 6th day, and the last day is on the 23rd of September. The ELOY Sustainable Empowerment webinar series are all about helping women sustain their businesses in this new normal that we have found ourselves. We have talked about we've brought different speakers to talk about different aspects of business, of running a business, from you now using your digital tools to sales that will, convert your followers to clients, to your mental health whilst running your business in this new normal that we found ourselves. And today we're talking about networking in the digital space, because in the last few months, a lot of networking had to happen online, seeing as we're not able to see ourselves the way we used to be, no one-on-one interactions from face-to-face like that. So today we have a guru in our midst, and she's going to be talking to us about networking in the digital space. And I'm going to read her bio to us right now. Her name is Dr. Dr. Gloria. She's no ordinary person. Her name is Dr. Gloria Edozien. Gloria is a LinkedIn visibility coach and lead consultant at the Inspired by Glory Academy, where she teaches mid-senior level career women how to build visibility and establish thought leadership on LinkedIn so they can get the recognition they deserve, earn more money, very important, and climb the corporate ladder. Glory has provided coaching partners, training, and consulting clients, which include Snyder Electric, Access Bank, Sterling Bank, ICO Insurance, Ocean Deep Drilling, ESV Nigeria Limited, FCSL Asset Management Limited, as Access Bank, Association of Professional Women's Banker, Adosa Microfinance Bank, Women in Finance Nigeria, Women Inspiring Impact Network, to mention a few. She's an alumni of the World Economic Forum Global Shapers and has been listed as one of Nigeria's 100 most inspiring women. She has been featured in many notable magazines and platforms, including Guardian Life, Ebony Life TV, Genevieve Magazine, and Arise, soon Exquisite Magazine. Glory holds a PhD in real estate and planning from the University of Reading in England, and is a certified expert in climate change and renewable energy finance, and regularly consults on climate change policy documents. Glory has a PhD, like I said earlier. She's a lead consultant, a lead coach and consultant at Inspired by Glory Academy. Ladies, let's welcome Glory Edozien. Thank you, Gloria.
Hi, hello everybody. Is my video on? Can you see me? Okay, yes,
Yes,
fantastic.
you can see.
Hello everybody. Exciting to be here. Auntie Tara, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm excited to be here. I've seen the work you've been doing in this women empowerment sector for many, many, many years, and well done on your consistency and your tenacity.
Thank you.
So thank you for inviting me to join this forum and to speak. So guys, how's everybody doing? I don't think we have so much time, but I'd like for people to sort of introduce themselves. But what I'd like in the meantime, if you could just type in the comment section what your biggest networking challenge has been since we started COVID-19. I have an idea of what I would like to talk about today, but I just want to make sure that I'm hitting the nail on the head for everyone that is here, making sure the talk is relevant. So just go ahead right now in the comment section and just please type out, in shorthand, longhand, whatever, your key challenges around networking. Okay, so I want to tell you guys a networking story that I think sometimes people sometimes miss, right? So I'm in the women empowerment sector. And one of the biggest networking tips I give people is build the bridge before you need it. So a lot of people are constantly, when you think about networking, it's usually when you have an issue. Oh, I'm trying to get more clients, so let me network. Oh, I'm trying to do this, so let me network. But the foundation of networking really is around generosity, right? It's around building the bridge before you need it. So let me give you an example. Earlier in the year, Yeah. So earlier in the year, I was on Lekki Ikoyi Bridge, and I saw a flyer, and not flyer, you know, all these banners, and it was for a women empowerment program that had just started by this company. And I thought about, I was like, oh, I should really be on here. I should really find out what these people are doing, you know. So I went on LinkedIn. I found the person who was heading that particular department because it had just started. I found the person who was heading that particular department. I wasn't connected to her. So I found through LinkedIn, I found people that knew her, right? And I asked them to introduce her to me. And, you know, one of my friends made the introduction. And I said, oh, you know, I'd just like to come in for a meeting, find out what you guys are up to and all of that. And she was I could tell she was a bit skeptical, but she was like, okay, sure, come in. And I went in for a meeting. I had a chat with her and all of that. And she was like, oh, okay, okay. You could see from her face that she was like, what's the ask? Like, what's this girl doing here? But, you know, I'm used to that kind of thing. So I just had a chat with her. I was like, look, I want to understand what your challenges are. What, you know, this is what I've been doing for a while. I'm in the women empowerment sector. You know, let me just know what you guys are up to. And so she told me a few things, a few gaps and everything. I was like, okay, I'll see if I can send a proposal. But if not, it was great to meet you. And so that was it. And then a few weeks later, so now we're already connected on LinkedIn. I'm sharing content, I'm visible and everything. And guess who calls me? She calls me. And she's like, oh, you know that she needs some help around her LinkedIn and things. And somebody mentioned my name to her. And I was like, oh, really? Yes. And then she's like, oh, she needs help with her CV and everything. I was like, okay, I don't really do CVs, but I can recommend a few people. And I recommended a few people. Cut long story short, when I had a proposal to actually submit to the bank, I submitted it. It was very easy to have that conversation. We even got up to the procurement stage before the lockdown hit. And then we had to take a pause on that project. What is this story? What am I driving up with this story? A lot of time, between the time I met her and the time I was actually sending a proposal, at least 2-3 months had passed, right? But because I had built that connection, one, because I was also oiling my network, two, because three, I was being relevant within my network. Even when I met her and she was skeptical about who I was, she had still gone out, she had heard about me from other people who are part of my network. And then when there was now a deal to be struck, that conversation was easier. Why? Because I had built the bridge before I needed it. Now, that's one of many examples about networking. Last month, I shared on Instagram that last month, one of the things that happened to me was I got the highest number since the start of the year of personal coaching clients in 1 month, just because somebody in my network recommended me in a room that I didn't even know existed. And that opened new lines to my business. What am I saying? Relationships are everything, right? Just because we are in a lockdown, and I think even now that we're in a lockdown, we actually have the capacity to connect with even more people than before. I'm just going to take a break from what I've shared and just look at the comment section to see if there've been any questions. Okay, nobody has put in. Guys, please just put in your challenges so that I can make sure that what I'm saying addresses your challenges. Okay, so that is my introduction, right, into why networking is important. You don't wait until you need an opportunity to actually now start networking. So how do you network? What's the best way for doing it? How do you network in this new normal? That's what I'm going to be sharing today. But before I do that, and I have some exercises. So you guys, this is not cinema. This is not film house cinema. So don't just think you're just going to be sitting here looking at me. I'm going to ask questions. We're going to have an interactive time. So I have another question coming up for you very soon. Okay, but before that, what I want to explain here is the difference between a network and networking. Who can tell me, is there anybody in the chat? And I'm just going to call people. You know, me, I have PhD, so I'm a teacher. So who is in the chat? Who is in the garden? Who are the participants? Okay, can we have Percy? Can we have Percy? Preshi, sorry, not Percy, Preshi Dan. Can you tell me, what do you think is the difference between a network and networking? Hello?
Hello,
What's the difference between...
Are we all
Hi.
here?
I'm sure they didn't expect it. They're not expecting it. They're not expecting it. Okay.
iPhone.
Hello, who wants to tell us in the comment section? Okay. Oh, there was iPhone. Okay, hello. Okay. Okay, hello, good afternoon. Okay, so while I'm waiting for people to respond to that, I'll just go ahead so we don't waste time. The difference between a network and networking, right? Now, a network is a set of relationships that you depend on to get things done, right? It's a set of relationships you depend on to get things done. Whereas in the process of networking is the art of adding people to your network, right? Adding people to your network, refreshing the contacts in your network, and being valuable to people in your network. So you see, there are three things: networking, adding people to your network, refreshing contacts in your network, and adding value to your network. So why is this distinction important? Because a lot of times people say, oh, I have to network, or I'm networking. And they think networking is just about adding people to your relationships. No, your network should actually be people, apart from the fact that you depend on them, they should be people that are willing to spend their social capital to see you succeed because they understand the value you have, right? You are top of mind to people in your network. So when they see an opportunity for you, they can immediately call you. So this person I told you that spoke about me in a room that I didn't even know existed, I didn't ask her to do this for me, right? She just knew I was doing something, and she said, oh, it was when she just sent me a message like, oh, Glory, I've shared this here and there. Send me a letter to follow it up so I can send it to them. And that was all. Why? Because one, I was maintaining this relationship. She was aware of what I was doing, and I'm constantly adding people to my network. So there's a test I want you to use, and especially for people that are not able to do this today, or that are watching this video later on, there's a test I want you to do to check the vibrancy of your network, right? So just follow me. What I want you to do is think about over the last 6 months, right? Who have you shared your business goals or career goals with? Write down 10 people, right? Write down 10 people. So somebody is saying, how can I increase the quality of people in my network? Great question. This is how. What I'm telling you is the first thing you need to do to increase the quality of people in your network is, first of all, let's check the quality of your network, right? And so this test is going to help you check the quality and vibrancy of your network. So write down 10 people that you've spoken to in the last 6 months about your career or business, right? Doesn't matter who they are, whether it's your dog, your daddy, your friend, your husband, your children. Shall write everybody's name there, right? 10 names. Now, what I want you to do is divide these people according to these categories: friends and family, right? So that's self-explanatory. The person is your childhood friend, or the person is your family member. That's self-explanatory. The second category I want you to look at is operational contacts. Now, operational contacts are like colleagues, people that you see every day. You depend on them every day to get things done, right? The next people I want you to think about now is strategic contacts. These are people that help you to envision the future and give you the tools to attract and get the things that you want to in the future, right? So 3 categories. So remember, write down 10 people. Out of these 10 people, I want you to divide them into 3 categories. Those are friends and family. Those are operational contacts. Those that you depend on every day to get things done. And C, those that help you envision the future and give you the tools and resources to attract that future, right? So these are the categories. Now, if you do that and you find that most people in your network are friends and family or operational contacts, and you don't have enough strategic contacts, then you know that there's a problem with your network. And to tell you, I can see you smiling. And you know that there's a problem with your network, right? If you are too, and then the next thing I want you to look at is, so the idea here is have a sizable, at least in that list of 10, at least have 3 to 4 people that are strategic, right? So that's a good number to have, right? The next thing I want you to look at, in those 10 names, how many are men and how many are female, right? Do you have an even split, right? Now, if you work in a sector, for example, that is male dominated, it's likely that you have a lot of men that are strategic connections or operational connections, because just by the virtue of the work you're doing, right? But there you now say, okay, maybe I need to have more women, because you need to have allies, feminine allies, right? So you might need to have more women, and then vice versa. If you have more women, you might need to have more men because you're clearly missing out. So make sure that your network has a level of gender robustness, because a lot of times when people say go and network, you don't even know who am I networking with? Why should I be networking? Doing this test helps you to understand the current network you have, right? So that's 2. And then if you have strategic contacts that are not on that list, right? Those 10 names, right? They are not on that list. because you haven't spoken to them in years, then you know that you actually have a good network, but you have not been leveraging that network. Does that make sense? So there are people you know, but in the last 6 months, you've not spoken to them. You've not spoken to them this year, but you know them, and they could be strategic contacts. So you know that, okay, I need to re-energize that relationship. And another test that you do with those 10 names is ask yourself, when was the last time, how long have I known these people, right? How long have I known these people? So you divide again into 3 categories. People that you've met within the last 6 months to 1 year, people that you've known between 1 to 5 years, and people that you've known for more than 5 years. If the people on that list, you have known them for all of them, or 80% of them, you've known them for more than 5 years, your network, you're not adding new people to your network, right? If it is between 1 to 5, people are between 1 to 5, same thing. Maybe you're adding a few new people, but not so much. If more people there, you met them within the last 1 year, then it means there are old relationships that you're not taking advantage of, that you're not leveraging. So you see how this, it's not about going out and just meeting people. Let's actually look at the quality of your network. So I find that's I wish it was something we could have done today. So
I think Gloria's connection got us cut off. Can everyone still hear me?
hello, I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. All right, okay, fantastic. Okay, cool. Let me just see. I know some people had sent, guys, because I was logged out, if you send me a chat, I can no longer see it. So please send me, I saw some people sending me private messages. Please, can you resend them again? Because my internet went off, I lost it. Okay, so just let me know, was that exercise helpful? Auntie Tara, did you find that exercise helpful? Was it useful?
Yes.
Did it give you an idea of how your network is and what gaps did you see in your network?
Very useful. The gaps I see in my network is there are strategic contacts and friends and family, but there are operational contacts and friends and family, but the strategic one is a little bit lower than it should be. Yeah.
So do you think that that's because there are people that you know that are strategic that you've not been connecting with in the last 6 months, or because it's completely missing from your network?
I think it's people that I know that I haven't been connecting with. That's what I think, definitely.
So now the networking you need to do is refreshing relationships. So can you see why that definition that we did in the beginning was so important? Because a lot of people think that networking is only about adding new people. How do I increase the quality of people in my network? What about people that are in your network? How are you using them?
Exactly.
That's the first thing, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Very true.
So we spoke about that. We've done the test. Now I want to go to networking mistakes, right? So the first mistake I find that when it comes to women, right? Oh, my network, sorry. I'm talking about networking, and my network will not give me, will not let me rest. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about mistakes. So we're going to talk about how to actually network in this new normal. But there are some things that we just have to deal with before we get there. Now, the networking mistakes, I'm going to talk about 3. The first one is, and I find a lot of my clients struggle with this, is the wrong mindset when it comes to networking. So I usually do this thing, we don't have time for it today, where I ask people, what team are they in? Team, I need people. Team, Miss Independent, everything I have, I got it on my own. Or team, no new friends. All these new people in this world, I beg, they're all betrayers. Let me just stick with my primary school friends, right? Every time I do that test, everybody always say, oh, I'm team, I need people. I know I need people. By the time we go through the test, we'll see that a lot of people are team independent and team no new friends. But we don't have time for that today. Okay, so the mindset when it comes to networking. What do you tell yourself just before you network? I think that's so important. A lot of times we are feeding ourselves negative energy. So a lot of times we are saying to ourselves, oh, this person will not want to network with me. What do I even have to offer? That prevents us from networking. A lot of times we are thinking, oh, what can this person give me? Instead of thinking, what is the value I carry that I can offer this person, right? That prevents us from networking. Another time we are thinking, all these people, please, all these people that go to this event, they're always snobs. See how they're always carrying their bag and their Brazilian hair. They won't let somebody hear a word, always making up all of that, everything. You know, all of these things actually prevent you. When you are being so judgmental, it prevents you from networking. So what is the best mindset to have? The best mindset to have when it comes to networking is understand your value. And I was very happy when Auntie Tara started this by saying, introduce yourself. Because when you are networking, unfortunately, what people are thinking is, okay, who are you? What do you do? And why should I care? Right? And so the way you introduce yourself really should answer those questions. So it's very, very important that you are sharing your value when you introduce yourself. So one of the things that I'd like you to do today is understand how to articulate your skills in a sentence or two, right? Introduce yourself beyond your job title or beyond saying I'm the founder of so and so. I never introduce myself as founder of Inspired by Glory. Why? Because nobody knows what Inspired by Glory is. Only me and my daddy and my mommy. What people really care about, unless maybe I'm founder of Dangote or founder of Nestle. Hello, ain't nobody caring about that. Do you understand? So, but anyway, so that's actually another mistake, but we'll get to that in a bit. So first of all, understand the value that you carry, and then have an open mind when you're building relationships and when you're networking. Don't use one bad experience that you had yesterday to now say, oh, I Kuku said it. These people are here. Nobody wants to help people in this corona world. Have an open mind. People are, and I think because I've had an open mind, I've been burnt when it comes to networking, but I've also gotten a lot of people who have helped me. In fact, recently there was a company that was owing me a lot of money. It was someone in my network that went to meet them to say, you people cannot be owing this girl. Do you understand? So this idea, all these things, when you hear things like women don't support women, blah, 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 don't let it sink in, because it clouds your mindset and prevents you from networking. Even if you had a bad experience, right? Focus on the good, even if you had a bad experience. That's the first one, mindset. Or thinking that people will look down on you and things like that. Address the mindset. The second mistake I find is we wait until we need it. So you're looking at your business. Hey, I need customers. Oh, okay, what am I going to do? I need to go and network. Let me go for this event. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me quickly go on LinkedIn. I need to sell. Blah, blah, blah. When you do things like that, that's when you start to look desperate. So that's why I shared that first example with you. Make networking a lifestyle. What does that mean? When you meet somebody, add them on your most used social media platform, right? So for example, myself and Tewa now, we haven't spoken in I don't think we've spoken this year. That's just the truth. I don't think we've spoken this year. But somehow, I'm aware of the work she's been doing. She's aware of the work I'm doing. Why? Because we're on social media together. So in this new virtual, this is not the time to be silent on social media. This is not the time, because that is a primary networking tool. This is not, whether you're an entrepreneur, a career professional, all of that. In fact, career professionals, this is not even the time to be silent at all. This is the time to be very visible, and networking is a tool for visibility. So network according to your lifestyle. So let me give you some examples that I do. If I read a book, you can be sure, because LinkedIn is where I use mostly for my networking. You can be sure that, no, I don't care what country the author is in. I'm going on LinkedIn and I'm going to send them a message. Hello, I'm just reading your book about XYZ. I found it so interesting, especially the chapter on so and so. I do it all the time. I've done it for a woman who is one of the top gender coaches in America, and she offered to send me one of her books for free, all the way from the States, right? Because I'm constant. I have this open mind. My mindset is never, why will a best-selling author want to talk to me? I'm connected with a lot of Forbes writers. I'm connected with a lot of authors. Why? Because I have the mindset that I'm a person of value. I'm connected with even people that work in LinkedIn. One day I sat down and I said, people in LinkedIn need to know about what I'm doing. So I send them messages. Hello, I'm helping African women to become thought leaders on LinkedIn. It would be great to connect. So you see, that's why I talked about that mindset mistake. Because if I had the mindset that, why would LinkedIn even care? I will never have the guts to do that. Do you get? Okay, so that's the second thing. Make networking a lifestyle. The third mistake is no networking strategy. No networking strategy. And I know a lot of people are guilty about this. networking has become Moya. Okay, oh, a lot of people are going for this event. A lot of people are signing up for this webinar. A lot of people I'm talking about. For example, people say this thing about webinar fatigue. I'm not experiencing the webinar fatigue in this season. Why? Because I know where I'm going. I know the webinar that is relevant for me and the one that is not. There's no webinar fatigue. I've never even experienced it. The only fatigue I have is speaking fatigue because I talk for a living, right? So that's the only fatigue I have. I don't have webinar fatigue because I'm very careful about what I attend because I have a networking strategy. I'll give you an example. Last month actually, I attended a training session by Daniel Presley. Daniel Presley is a best-selling author of this book, Key Person of Influence. On that call, I got an opportunity. I was not the one training. I went to learn. I got an opportunity to go and to talk in the UK, and somebody introduced me to a book, someone that helps people to write and publish books in the UK as well. On that call, but I went to learn. Do you understand? Why? Because the book person, how they even introduced me was because I said on the call, I'm trying to write a book. These are my challenges. Wherever I go, I talk about my goals, right? And because I talk about my goals wherever I go, and I'm in the right place, I always have people that are helping me achieve those goals. So during the call, Daniel Percy said something about, LinkedIn being a great place. Immediately in the chat, see me. Yes, LinkedIn is a great place. I'm a LinkedIn coach, blah, 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 blah. You guys connect with me. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. See people, everybody going to I put the link for my LinkedIn profile. See people connecting with me, asking me questions. That's how I got the invite to come and speak to this group in the UK virtually. So what is the summary of this? Know where you want to go. And that's what I want to teach you today. So this is we're coming, and so I'm rounding up now. Because I think I've spoken for more than I should.
No, you can go ahead. It's fine.
Okay. So now let's talk about how do you now network. So what we've done today, I've told you the difference between networking and networking, network and networking. I've shown you how to test the vibrancy and the state of your network so that you know where the gaps are in your network. I've talked to you about networking mistakes you are making. Now, how do you actually network in this virtual world that we're living in? So I'm going to talk to you about LinkedIn because that's what I do every day. LinkedIn. So how do you network on LinkedIn? First of all, why should you network on LinkedIn? So LinkedIn has over 675 million users across the entire world. So it means there's no WhatsApp group, there's no conference, there's no place you want to go to that has as many people as LinkedIn, right? Now, obviously, you can use Instagram and all those places, but let me tell you why I love LinkedIn. The LinkedIn algorithm, have you noticed that on Instagram, you can write your heart. I feel Instagram is very wicked. You can write your heart. That's what you finish praying, what God told you in your dream, this thing that is burning you, you post it on Instagram, 10 likes. Kai, so painful. But then somebody will just put a picture, chilling at home, 3,500 likes. Instagram is frustrating. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's frustrating. When I found the LinkedIn, I said, what? The LinkedIn algorithm is different. So LinkedIn realized a few years ago that it didn't want to create stars. It wanted to build community. So instead of the popular getting more popular, the LinkedIn algorithm wants to facilitate connection, because professionals go on LinkedIn because they want to actually connect, they want to read. So that's why people on Instagram, you see things like no long caption, shorten your caption. But on LinkedIn, you see people are writing articles, people are commenting, people are leaving comments, all of that, right? It's a bit different. The psyche is a bit different when you're on LinkedIn. You actually expect to receive content. You actually expect to read a bit. Obviously, no one writes long rubbish. Do you understand? Sensible things. Okay, so that's another reason why I really love LinkedIn, because people are actually there to connect, not just to be entertained, right? So this is why you should be networking on LinkedIn. And another thing about LinkedIn is that it gives you the opportunity to connect with people across the world. Like yesterday I was with one of my clients. What were we doing? We were connecting with people in Kenya. Like, where else are you going to do that? without buying a ticket to Kenya, you know, or being invited to speak in Kenya. We're looking for people that does what she does in Kenya, and we're connecting with them, sending them connection requests. I was in my bedroom, she was in her bedroom, from the comfort of our bedroom in pajamas. So I hope I've convinced you that LinkedIn is the place to be. Now, how do you use LinkedIn properly? The first thing is clarity. And this comes back to what I was talking about earlier in terms of pitch. Clarity about who you are and the value you bring, right? So it's not about introducing yourself with your job title or your founder title. I'll give an example. On LinkedIn, I used to call myself diversity coach or something like that, founder of Inspired by Glory Academy. I was not getting relevant connections. But that's what I am, right? I'm the founder of Inspired by Glory Academy. When I change it to LinkedIn Visibility Coach, my 2020 goal is to help 500 women become thought leaders on LinkedIn. Because of that tag, people send me messages based on that tagline alone. Hello, Glory, I want to be part of your 500 women. Hello, Glory, I have a community of over 200 women. If you come and speak, you will meet your target. That sentence alone drives people to me. Why? Because it talks about my value. So get clarity on who you are and who you are trying to attract. And then express your value in a way that the people you are trying to attract will immediately see why they need to connect with you. Because it's very important. You don't want to be sending connection requests to people and they are ignoring you, right? So get clear on your value. Then use LinkedIn as a resource. You already have a digital CV or a bio that you send to people or whatever the case is, right? Don't use LinkedIn that way. Use LinkedIn as a resource. LinkedIn is meant to be opening opportunities for you while you are sleeping, while you are in traffic, while you're taking care of your kids. That's what LinkedIn is meant to be doing for you. So use it as a resource. So how do you use it as a resource? I've talked about, first of all, getting your branding right, understanding what you want about, your clarity. Now ask yourself, so now that this is my brand, who do I want to attract? Who will care about this? Who will pay me for this? Who has the information? Who is looking for the information I have, right? And then these are the people you need to be connecting with on LinkedIn. These are the people you need to be sending connection requests to. But when you're sending them connection requests, you introduce yourself. You don't just send and press connect. Always send a personalized note. Unless I know someone, I don't just send them a connection request. I always send a personalized note with it. So the next, okay, and then so that's your networking strategy. Your networking strategy is basically saying, who do I want to connect with? So a lot of times people are, they'll say, oh, but how, I feel bad ignoring people's requests and everything. So it's not about feeling bad. Sometimes I feel bad too, but it's not about feeling bad. It's not about the quality and quantity of your network. It's about the quality. And the way LinkedIn algorithm works, right? What you give LinkedIn is what it gives you. So have you ever noticed, like on Instagram, if you keep liking somebody's pictures, any day you go on Instagram, that's like the first picture you see. After a while, maybe you even on purpose, you have to stop liking the person's pictures so that Instagram can show you other people's pictures. LinkedIn kind of works like that as well. Whatever you give it is whatever it will give you. So if you are accepting random connection requests and making random connection requests, it will be showing you random people to connect with, and it will be showing your profile to random people as well. So that's why you need a networking strategy, right? And I hope I've explained what that networking strategy is. So if you're wondering, okay, but Glory, how do I really know what it is for me? My best tip here is the people who have achieved the things you want to achieve, connect with them on LinkedIn. Who are the people that have achieved what you want to achieve? Connect with them on LinkedIn, right? And if you want to achieve 5 things, then you are connecting with 5 categories of people, okay? Then the next thing, create content. Create content. So these people that you are trying to connect with, what are their problems, right? What are their problems? The things that you do, that you know about your specialties, how can you use that to help them, right? So for example, when COVID broke and everything, I know one of the things people were really struggling with, how do you stay visible during this virtual era? So I wrote a short article, 5 ways to stay visible during COVID-19, right? Because I know that the people I'm trying to attract, I know who I'm trying to attract, women in mid to senior level, these are the kind of questions they're asking. So your people that you're trying to attract, what are their core problems? Write articles that help them solve those problems. And those are the few tips I have for today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gloria. I'm sure a lot of people have questions. I've tried to put them in the chat. because I think
Okay.
you went off at one point. iPhone asked the question. She said, or he, iPhone said, how can I increase the quality of people in my network?
Okay, so let me just answer that in summary. How do I increase the quality of people in my network? The first thing that you do is do the test to understand where are the gaps in your network, right? So is it that I need strategic contacts? Is it that I know people but I've not been leveraging them? So you understand the gaps. Then understand what are the goals that I'm trying to achieve, right? Who has achieved these goals? And then connect with those people. Those are the steps. Is that clear, Auntie Tewa? Should I say it again?
I think it's clear. iPhone, is that good for you? We don't know who you are, iPhone. We're calling you iPhone.
Oh dear.
I think Temitokwe also asked, okay, what was her question? She said, how can I be intentional with my network? I find that I get a few random LinkedIn connection requests.
Okay, so you are intentional about your network by creating a networking strategy.
Okay.
Creating a networking strategy. So first things first. So who do I actually want to network with? Who do I actually want to connect with? And then becoming intentional about sending those connections. Now, the beautiful thing that happens is when you are connecting with those people, like send them connection requests and writing the right type of content, those people now start to find you and start to send you connection requests. Right? So that's I think that's an important thing. Another thing that you can do is it's not just about, so content is great for showing what's the word now, for showing professional credibility and all of that, but also deepen the relationships. Like if somebody in your network or that somebody that has achieved the goal you are trying to achieve, write something on LinkedIn, comment, have a conversation. I find a lot of people say, oh, nice one, nice article. I don't think that that's really helpful. Ask a question, oh, I really enjoyed reading this article, but have you considered XYZ? Say something that will make you stand out. Deepen relationships. Another thing that I like about LinkedIn is that LinkedIn also it gives you about three opportunities every year to connect with your network. So if it's their work anniversary, if it's their birthday, if they got a promotion at work, if they've been featured on the news, right? So LinkedIn will actually send you a notification. I never ignore those notifications. In fact, I was telling somebody recently, there was somebody I met at a World Economic Forum conference in South Africa about 5 years ago. He works in one of the big fours and he's a tax leader, very well-known tax leader. Now, I'm not in tax, but I met him at this conference. And when you are at an international conference and you're Nigerian, you're like, oh, hello, Nigeria, that kind of thing. And we swap details, blah, 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 blah. Now, I added him on my LinkedIn and he accepted. I mean, the meetings he goes for, I don't go for. Like, it's two separate fields, right? But what did I do? Every year, LinkedIn will send me a message. Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. And I'll send him a message, happy birthday. And he'll reply, oh, thank you, Glory. How are you? I'm fine, sir. How are you? I'm fine. And that was the extent of our conversation for 4 or 5 years. Recently, 9to5 Chick was doing an event. And I was like, we should invite him to speak. It was such an easy conversation to have. I just sent him an email, I would like to invite you for an event, everything. Send me his email address, sent him an invite. Oh, he knew who I was, remember who I was, he has been seeing my articles, all of that. What I say, build the bridge before you need it, right? So there are people that you've been meeting. How are you staying connected with them? How are you staying connected with them? How are you refreshing your networks? This is the way. So a lot of people are concerned about adding new people to their network. Meanwhile, you're not maintaining the relationships you have, right? And you're not even sure why you're adding them.
Right.
So, Sarah, you want to say something?
Thank you for that. I want to ask you talk about refreshing your connection. How do you refresh and keep the connection fresh? Are you supposed to be calling them every night, hello, how are you? Just check in? Or what do you do? How do you, because I'm sure people want to know how to refresh the connection that they have, because I'm sure that we all have connections that can definitely take us to the next level that we require. But it's just that we're not utilizing the connections properly the way they should be used. So what would you advise?
I think what I do is, for me, generally names of people, I don't know if it happens to everybody, but sometimes you just be on your own and somebody's name will come to your mind. I've not spoken to this person in a long time. Actually write the person's name down. I write it down so that when I have some free time, I'll say, let me quickly send this person a message. I think many times when people say refreshing your connections, it sounds complex. It's really not complex, especially during this COVID-19. People are used to people calling to check up on them because, like, I haven't heard from you in a while. Or how are you? Are you okay? I hope you're keeping safe. Just sending these messages. I think it's a great way to refresh and stay connected. Don't worry if the person doesn't reply. I actually find this humorous when people don't reply my messages, because the day that I need help or they need help, that message is still there. And they now feel bad, and they first of all have to reply, oh, Glory, you sent me a message 6 months ago. Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't reply. So I think the most important thing is our mentality, what we tell ourselves, like, oh, this person is going to think I'm coming for a favor and things like that. No, just get into the habit of, for me now, the truth about this is, and people will say, Glory, you're an extrovert, this is really easy for you. I'm not an extrovert. And I'm honest, right? Since lockdown in March, I have left my house 4 times. I live alone. So there's, I want you to understand that. So people will think that, oh, I mean, my family members, they can't understand how I'm doing this. Do you understand? So it's not like I like going out. And in fact, the other day, my friend had a birthday party. And when it was a party, like a small gathering, and I saw it on Instagram, I was going to accuse her, you didn't invite me. Oh, I said, Glory, you have gone. It's okay, leave her. Do you understand? So I'm actually, even though I'm very vivacious and blah, 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 I'm actually not that much of an extrovert. I have extroverted and introverted tendencies. So even for introverts, what I'm saying works, right? Sending people a message. Oh, hello, I haven't spoken to you in a long time. I hope you're well. Dear sir, I haven't spoken in a while. I hope you and your family are keeping well, especially in these times. It'd be great to connect. Do you understand? Yeah, just doing things like that, I think helps.
Nice. Damilola, whose iPhone also said that she used to think LinkedIn was limited to professionals. Now she has a different mindset about that. And that's true. Can business owners be active on LinkedIn?
Very, very. I'm a business owner now. Very, very active. You just have to know who you are trying to attract on LinkedIn. Just have to know who you're trying to attract on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Right. And Sheon for me said, can I unfriend the random friends I have added on LinkedIn?
I always get that question. People always ask, please, I beg, can I? No. Spend your energy. I mean, you can if you want, but I never recommend that. Instead, spend your energy finding the relevant connections. Spend that time that you'll be using to go through to delete people to actually now find the relevant people.
Nice. Okay. Does anyone have any more questions? Questions, anyone? We have Dr. Glory here. Oh, let's utilize her.
Let me check if anybody has sent me any
networking
questions
on the digital space.
Okay.
You mentioned something about one of the networking mistakes people make, waiting until you need it to network. When you meet people and you don't probably have a reason to network with them, won't they think it's weird? Or would you just say, oh, I just want to...
not necessarily. So I mean, so I have a habit of networking because I'm very clear on my networking strategy, networking with people that are in the same field as me. So I don't need anything, but I'm just interested in your work. So develop an interest for people, right? As opposed to always waiting till you need something from people. So develop this idea of just be interested in things that people are doing. Oh, you're doing amazing work. Oh, well done. Oh, this is really interesting. And then connect with the person on LinkedIn. Once in a while you see the person's article, you find it interesting and things like that. So that's my advice, right? Just develop an interest for people.
Okay. And someone's asked you, is it possible to sell via LinkedIn?
Oh, yes.
It is?
So, but
I didn't know that.
Yes, I sell. But the selling is very different. Yes, it's very different. It's a very different tactic. So, whereas I wouldn't advise, on LinkedIn, on Instagram now, you put, like, let's say you're selling clothes, you put a blazer and whatever. I say this one is 5,000, this one is 10,000, and everything. Don't do that. So don't do that. Have a kind of like a sales funnel. So I'll tell you what I do. So I'm regularly doing webinars. I'm regularly teaching. I'm teaching a lot on LinkedIn. So my sales posts are far and few between, right? So but I'm selling every day on LinkedIn. In fact, when you were saying something, I just got a message that a notification came up that somebody was asking me for coaching services on LinkedIn. I'm constantly getting people asking, even when I'm not selling, to say, "Oh, Glory, please, what are your prices for your coaching?" Why? Because I'm constantly teaching, and then my bio tells people the services I offer, right? So my LinkedIn profile then becomes a funnel for me. So let's say you're in fashion, right? And let's say you're in fashion and everything. Instead of saying, "Oh, this costs 2,000, this costs whatever," create a profile that demonstrates that you help busy professionals, you style busy professionals, right? Create some sort of a profile that demonstrates that. Then teach women, okay, this is what you should wear. How do you pair, especially now, for example, that prices of things are skyrocketing and people are not going to maybe have as much to buy clothes and things like that. Okay, how do you use what is in your wardrobe, right? Be creating articles like that. Now your profile, right? In your profile, have your services, your websites where people, maybe a link to your Instagram page where you're selling clothes and things like that, so that what will happen is that when people will read this article, they'll be like, who is this person? They will go to your profile. And then once in a while, you can put a picture and just say, "Oh, if you like this outfit, blah, 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 blah," just it's a stylized way of selling, not unlike Instagram that is like, this one is 2,000, this one is 6,000. Do you understand? Yeah.
Tastefully done, to do it tastefully.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone have any more questions? Don't be shy. Antonia, I hope that answered your question right.
Okay.
Any more questions? Should I call out names?
Names of noisemakers.
Okay, Antonia said yes, it did. That was helpful.
Fantastic.
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, so insightful, said she for me. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Gloria. This has been quite insightful, and for me as well. You learn every single day. And today, with the test you made us do, I have realized that I need to increase the number of my strategic networking contacts, not just limited to the friends and family and the operational. So this has been quite insightful for me as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Yay,
And yeah, to everybody that has joined in today, we've talked about networking in the digital space. This is the time where you can't be shy about what you do. You have to put yourself out there. I keep saying this, that 2020 is not canceled yet because things are still going on and you can be a part of that big thing that is going on. So utilize all the different tools at your disposal, your networking abilities, use different platforms. Dr. Gloria mentioned LinkedIn, which a lot of people shy away from going on to.
Very true.
Like she said, it's for professionals, it's for business owners. You look through different networks and see the ones that apply to you and the ones that work for you. Even if you're networking on Instagram, you have to be strategic about your networking as well. So it's not just like that. And don't leave your networking till when you need people. It's a lifestyle. I love that. I use that actually with my mindset styling, that it's a lifestyle. So I love the fact that you said networking is a lifestyle. So don't limit it, or don't say, "Oh, I need to network to be able to sell my product." Make it a lifestyle. In fact, I would say that you should add it to part of your organizational structure. So you know that networking is something that you have to do. Because if people don't know you, how will they buy from you, whatever it is you're selling? She mentioned about the fact that a lot of people make different networking mistakes, which includes having the wrong mindset about networking. A lot of people say women don't help women, men don't help women. They're different, wrong mindsets about different things. And you have to let go of whatever limiting beliefs you have about networking, let go of whatever they are, and go out there to do it. If you go out there and if whatever it is you're thinking is what it is, she also mentioned about the fact that you should have an open mind, because not everybody is the same. So you have to have an open mind when you're going into the ocean of networking. She also mentioned about the fact that you need to have a networking strategy. So it's not okay that you're just going out there to meet people. You need to know why you're meeting people. And your number one goal should be to form a relationship. Know that you're adding value to them as well, not just, taking off them. She talked about how to network. She mentioned, which I said earlier, about choosing your platform. She talked to us about LinkedIn, which I believe everybody should, be a part of. So at least you beef up your professional image, so to speak. Even if you're a businesswoman, whatever it is you do, you can beef up that image on LinkedIn. Be clear about what you want to achieve with your networking goals. And lastly, she said that you should create content to solve people's problems. So when people are looking for opportunities for whatever problem they have, they will think of you. So this has been very, very insightful. Thank you so much, Glory. We appreciate you speaking to us today. And okay, so I have another one from Antonia. She said, would you advise a business owner to open a page for business? I noticed on LinkedIn that you can open a page via your normal page.
Yeah, so I have, what I advise people to do is have your own personal page, and then you can also have a company page as well. So one of the things I'm trying to do, like for example, 9to5 Chick has a company page, Inspire by Glory has a company page. I have to admit that I haven't really done much with my company pages. I've really been concentrating on my own personal brand page, but it's something you can do. I always advise though is that as an entrepreneur, as a founder of your business, it is easier. So when you tell social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram that you are a business, automatically they want to earn money from you, right? So as much as possible, leverage your own personal brand to bring visibility to your company and to your services.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. I hope that answers your question, Antonia. So thank you so much. Do you have any last words for us?
Enjoy networking. Get to a place where you are actually enjoying building relationships and learning about people. And I think that's important, because the more, see networking as part of your lifestyle, network according to your personality. So don't feel like, oh, because Glory is cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, you have to be like that. Network, if you're a quiet person and you prefer to just network with people from afar, use LinkedIn. It's a great way to do that. So network according to your personality and enjoy it. Enjoy the process.
Right. Thank you so much. So everybody, enjoy the process of networking to grow your business, growing your network, and building your relationships. Thank you so much, Glory. And so just to round off, we have the final day of the ELOY Sustainable Webinar Series on the 23rd of September. We are going to be talking about finances for small businesses. And also we have someone from the government coming to talk to us about the ease of doing business in Nigeria. So if you have CAC questions, how to get documents, your tax identification number, everything, we're going to have someone talk to us on that day. So I look forward to seeing everybody then. Damilola said, can we get a certificate? Can we get a certificate of participation on the ELOY webinar series? Probably. If you can send us your email address, we'll see what we can arrange for the ELOY webinar series. But people on the sustainable program are getting a certificate. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Gloria. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Auntie Tara. Good night. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.